Okay. Sounds fun. Great. We're gonna go. What you doing? Can we get out there? All right. Let's go. We're going to test again. Legislation in this document facilitated the governance of the territory northwest of the Ohio River. That means it was for you. This person hosted a oh, no, they don't. Yeah, it's very. No, yeah. Yeah. All right, plus two. This person hosted a show called The Next Revolution on Fox News, after which he founded a bipartisan research institute called Golden Together. This person, who served as David Cameron's head of strategy, was criticized by Steve Hilton, 5 minutes for you. 2030 sponsors introduced this measure as H.R. 1776 to emphasize its patriotic necessity. An advocate of this policy justified the program by comparing its mechanics to a garden hose given to a neighbor whose house is actively burning. This policy was drafted to supersede the strict cash and carry constraints of the industry. Lend lease, and you just got it in time, so that's 5 points for you. This person was golfing with Donald Trump in West Palm Beach when Brian Ruth made a second assassination attempt on him. This man, whose sons were co-founders of World Liberty Financial, serves as de facto envoy to Vladimir Putin. This man, along with Jared Kushner, led negotiations. Steve Witkoff, that's 5 points for you. Toss of five. This man's debut studio album, of A Troubled Man's Mind, was released in 2024, and he also produced the single Ain't Got a Dollar. In 2023, this man became the first to debut on the Billboard Hot 100 without any prior charting history, and one of his performances was played at the first 2024 Republican presidential debate. It is not, that's minus 2 points, where he decried low wages and inflation. For the points named this country singer-songwriter who gained acclaim for his viral hit, Richmond, North of Richmond, in 2023. That's time. This is Oliver Anthony's. Tussle 6. After defeating Bill Cole in a gubernatorial election, this man switched his party affiliation to Republican in 2017. This man, who owns a resort called the Greenbrier, is currently the wealthiest member. It is not. That's 2 points. The U.S. Senate, serving alongside Shelton Parker. That is 5 points for Jim Justice. That's red 3 again. Tussle 7. This law's coverage formula uses a definition of a test for a device. In 2013, Shelby County Boulder struck down mandated pre-clearance for certain states required by this law. 6 points for the road record buzz. This woman narrowly defeated Brendan Jones in a primary election after she lost a special election to her after the resignation of John Conyers. This woman was censured in 2023 for comments regarding Israel, specifically uttering the phrase for so she got the yeah, that's great. 5 points for you. Tusk 9. Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3 requires this action, which was nonetheless not undertaken in 1920. In 1880, calculations for this procedure using the Hamilton method, that's incorrect minus 2, resulted in the discovery of the Alabama paradox, though no such law exists in the current Huntington-Hill method. This process occurs every 10 years. Reapportionment, and that's 5 points for you.
The scores are all mixed up. They're not even close to me.
Okay, hold on. Wait. I have that 26 equivalents.
Yeah, you keep adding it to the wrong person. No, it doesn't. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Wait, all right. But, okay. What scores? No, no, it's okay. Scores. This is why we're on here. It's all. Read that.
Joe, I 4 and if you get 0, if you get 0.
So that's what we have. Okay, so yeah, but he was just about to put the 5 on there. So yeah, so we're doing. Okay, all right, we do. All right, we're going into 2010, so we are going to continue. As the keynote speaker at this event's first iteration in 1974, Ronald Reagan argued for unity in the wake of Watergate. Due to COVID-19 restrictions in Maryland, the 2021 iteration of this event was held at the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando. That's incorrect -2. CPAC for 5 points. This man advises the quantum group as part of a hedge fund that Scott Bessent worked for. This man, the largest donor in the team. That is 5 points for George Soros. This politician lost the 2022 congressional special election to Mary Poltona. That is 6 points for Sarah Palin. Buzz. Okay, so that puts you at 37 now. So you're within striking distance of your board. At this company's annual meeting in 2007, its founder referred to gambling as a tax on ignorance. In 2024, this company became the first non-technology company in the world to reach a market capitalization of $1 trillion. Charlie Munger was termed the architect of this company. That is 5 points for Berkshire Hathaway. 42 points, and we will continue with also 14. After Dan Gordon's retirement, this man was elected to represent a district covering Muskogee and Tahlequah before being replaced by Joe Brashear. Following his election, his 2022 election, this Cherokee citizen became Mark Wayne Mullen. That is 6 points for Mark Wayne Mullen. Lincoln Magna was the final Whig to hold this position, which was first held by John Langdon, despite having less seniority than Dianne Feinstein. Patty Murray was there. Prompt. Prompt. Give me some of that. That's incorrect when I say this. To hold this position from 2023 to 2025. Since the ratification of the 25th Amendment, this position is third in line. That's incorrect for -2. That is also incorrect and -2. This is President pro tempore of the Senate. So its president was on the answer. So no points across the 16 and good across the 16. In 2024, this man defeated Robin Ficker in a statewide primary after having refused to endorse Dan Cox for another statewide race in 2022. In 2020, this popular then governor wrote in Ronald Reagan for president before becoming co-chair of the bipartisan No Labels group. In 2024, this man campaigned for Senate, but lost by more than 10 points to Angela Alsworth. That's 5 points for Eric. 2017. One of the earliest uses of this term comes from a New York Times article about Scoop Jackson's 1976 presidential campaign. A record 24 states participated in this event on February 5th, 2008, while the 2020 iteration of this event occurred in March and saw Bernie Sanders win California. That is 5 points, last word of the 5. This man's Harvard doctoral dissertation was adapted into a book titled A World Restored, and the term shuttle diplomacy was added. 6 points for everybody in the book. The ninth of these bodies is based in San Francisco, while the 10th covers all parts of Yellowstone National Park. There are 13. That is incorrect and -2. Of these entities, 11 of which are numbered and covers. That's also incorrect and -2. With the 12th dealing with the District of Columbia, except for the federal one, each of these institutions covers one or more district courts. For the points named, this level of the federal judicial system. That's what we need. Circuit courts, so you get 4 points there. We're going into 20. We'll do another quick score check out. Sorry, that's right. Pennsylvania rally, Trump labeled this country the worst country in the world. Donald Trump ordered the withdrawal of U.S. troops training. That's incorrect. Place two, training the Danab special forces in this country, though Joe Biden deployed them to counter Al Shabaab. It's 5 points for Somalia. Okay, so after points, our scores are
Six and read that word.
okay, so let's continue. 21. In Stockton, California, an experimental version of this policy was funded by this pilot project. This policy, which has a similar impact as a negative income tax, was promoted by one presidential candidate as a freedom dividend. Sam Altman supported this policy as a possible solution for technological unemployment. For the points named, this is social welfare that provides regular, unconditional payments to all citizens. This is universal basic income. Also 22. Though not in half, Richard Oakes drafted a satirical proclamation offering $24 in glass beads to acquire this. That's incorrect, my student. Alcatraz, 6 points for you. At an event or well, one event organized by this publication, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez wore a white dress with the words "Tax the Rich" written on it in red. A digital cover of this publication debuted the nuptials of Warren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos. A cover for this publication garnered criticism for featuring Kamala Harris wearing Converse in front of pink and green drapes. The points named this fashion magazine that hosts the annual Met. That is 4 points for Logan. The Boston travel influencer Jake Grossmarin created a video for himself in a specialized Nebraska unit in response to this pathogen. This 6 points for the virus. Tom DeLay gained this place. 25. Tom DeLay gained this position in the Republican Revolution against the wishes of Newt Gingrich. 2 current holders of this position are John Grasso and Brennan. 6 points. This location was originally named after the mountain kingdom of Shangri-La until Dwight Howard. So it's points to us. Okay, so we have more custom slide. So let's go quick score check real quick.
So I have Anushka at -10, Joe at 31, Albert at 24, Navika at 6, and Rita at 7. It's what I got
Okay, so toss 27. With the Swiss, Jimmy Carter signed the interest sections agreement to allow the West to resume use of a building in this non-European capital. In the Senate, Marco Rubio sponsored a 2021 appropriations bill to aid victims in this city, which contains the anti-imperialist platform across the street from the U.S. Embassy. 5 points for Havana. So that's 30 minutes. Okay. Paul Krugman helped popularize the term for this time period, which included the collapse of Lehman Brothers. That is 6. Great session for us. This subdivision is divided by mountain ranges into valleys such as the San Gabriel Valley, which contains several heavily Chinese cities like Arcadia. In contrast to neighboring conservative-leaning Orange County, this region's congressmen, such as Ted Lieu and Maxine Waters, are almost all Democrats. That's incorrect, and my student. This county has 5 elected supervisors, each representing 2 million. That is also incorrect, my student. 2 billion people contains a namesake city governed by Karen Bass. That is 4 points for Leslie First Mayor Bass. Just one. Okay, toss the class is this. One person who engaged in this procedure recited recipes for fried oysters. The
No. Okay, so. That's good.